This is my Mudman, the G-Shock GW9500, and right next to it, right here, is a picture of a new Mudman that's coming out. What do you notice? What's the difference? The metal. That's right. Who said that? There's metal on the bezel of this brand new Mudman that has officially been announced. Not actually released yet, but it has officially been announced. And right after I published this video where I measured the bezel on my
0.011 inches.
Yep, 0.011. That was the measurement I got on the bezel.
The H and G shock. All right. Now,
okay.
Look.
So you guys remember this video, right?
Look right there.
We're looking.
Look at the bezel right there.
We're looking. All right, hurry up, please. Hurry up. It's gonna skip.
All right.
0.08. It's 0.08. You guys can read that.
0.008.
Yeah. Okay. 3/100ths of a difference. 3/100ths of an inch in difference from one part of the bezel to the other. That's bioresin for you, gentlemen. Okay. So, anyways, the Mudman GW9500, the standard one, has a plastic bezel, and just so you guys know, the bezel is this inner ring right here, okay? And I'm using the official pointer pen of the Peter Watch Vlog, the metal Readiness pen, for you to see that this is the bezel, all right? And these bumpers hold the bezel on, all right? Now, so you look at this brand new GW9500. Okay, so the bumpers, the part holding the bezel on is still plastic, but the bezel itself, metal, just like this pen, metal, okay? So you should not expect there to be 3/100ths of a difference in the bezel warpage from one spot to the other like you're getting on this bioresin, okay? And so who spilled the beans on this? All right. Well, I was made aware of this from G-Shock en Espanol, okay? And he clued us in the comments, too, if anybody missed his community post. But I'll pull it up. All right, so it looks like an Instagram post from G-Shock Casio OFFICAL, right? And bing, bang, boom. There it is. The metal bezel Mudman, which is an upgrade. And so what I think happened is that, you know, the diesel and the brutal Texas sun warped the bezel on the bioresin bezeled Mudman, okay? And so there was a TLC version, all right? And the TLC version, you know, had some pizzazz, some extra pizzazz for the Toyota Land Cruiser. There's a Toyota Land Cruiser version of the Mudman, all right? And I made a video about it, and I think it was Ralph Phillips who alerted me to the fact that the bezel of that Mudman was metal. And I was like, they should make more metal bezel Mudmans. And that looks like that's what we have. The GW9500 is my favorite G-Shock. Supremely tough, supremely durable. And yes, I did test it. You can look at all my test videos. I subjected this to insane amounts of breakfast burrito grease and diesel and used motor oil, and a cat headbutted this watch. It's just things you wouldn't normally do to a watch. And so, all right, G-Shock Instagram is where the beans were originally spilled, all right? And I'm going to go here to Instagram, and I am not on Instagram anymore. I used to Instagram a lot, but then I realized they're ripping all of us off who are actual creators because they're like $1 billion company. I mean, Facebook owns it, right? And they don't share any ad revenue. You work for free on Instagram, and that's like no deal, right? Yeah, I won't let you look at it. All right, so we can look at the thumbnail. Right here is the Mudman that we're talking about, okay? Now, thankfully, gcentral.com has more information And it's the G-Shock Master of G Emergency Colors series. And there's 3 of them, not just the Mudman, but there's also the Gravity Master and the Mud Master, okay? And so it looks like to me that there's upgraded color schemes for the Gravity Master and the Mud Master, but the Mudman is the one that has the upgraded metal bezel, all right? So let me read this article from G Central. It says, Casio revealed the upcoming limited edition Master of G Emergency Color Series featuring bright orange and yellow dial accents on its official international G-Shock Instagram account. The series includes 3 tough solar-powered and carbon core guard watches from the Gravity Master, Mudman, and Mudmaster families. These are the first GR300 and GWG B1000 models to be released after the 3 debut models of each respective series, and the Mudman is the 3rd limited edition GW9500 model. The series is expected to be released worldwide soon. European retailers have listed the following prices. Gravity Master, €299. Mudman, €399. Mudmaster, €799. All right, so I'm just going to jump back in and say that, obviously it's going to cost a little bit more. So, I mean, the regular Mudman costs $380 retail. And so if they're charging €399, I guess we're going to be over $400 for the Mudman with a metal bezel. But as I've explained in previous videos, I think that's money that's well spent. I mean, sometimes you don't know if it's worth buying a limited edition, paying a lot of money for what could amount to be just, a splash of paint. But in this case, with a Mudman with a metal bezel, it's more than just a splash of paint. It's a totally different material, metal. And again, it's just the bezel. But as I've shown you that the bioresin bezel, I'm not even sure if the bezel's bioresin, but I just love ragging on bioresin, so I'm going to go with that. But the resin bezel on the regular Mudman does get warped. There is a patina, and there's pros and cons. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But while we're here on this page, this Gravity Master has some red accents, but the hands are still white, all right? And the red accents are on the indices. So this doesn't look to be a huge dramatic departure from the standard edition Gravity Master. So they didn't really go crazy with the color differences. And then on the GR... Oh, I got it wrong. Sorry. I'm looking at the... no, that's right. That's a Gravity Master. And then when we look at the Mud Master... Wait a minute. Which one's the Mud Master and which one is the Gravity Master? Can anybody tell? It just really hit me right now how similar they are. Wow, that's wild. All right. Maybe these are both Gravity Master. Anyways, here's the Mudman. And again, this is not a very dramatic departure color-wise. It's pretty much the same color. It's just metal, right? I guess we could sit there for a long time and look at the difference color-wise between the regular Mudman and this special edition Mudman. But it would be like trying to solve that puzzle in the newspaper. It's like spot the difference, and there's like 2 pictures, and it's like you spend a long time trying to find the difference. We need Ralph Phillips to use his eagle eyes to see what the difference is here. I'm not seeing a whole lot. Same colors, right? Okay, that's a second picture of the Mudman. All right, now here is the Mud Master, and like the big difference between this Mud Master and the standard edition Mud Master is that the hands are white. All right, so you got white hands. The hands on the standard edition Mud Master on the black one are yellow, like a muted yellow color. So I do think this Mudmaster looks really nice, but I think that I prefer the regular Mudmaster. So I would save the money for the regular Mudmaster, buy the regular Mudmaster over this special edition Mudmaster. But I do think the money is well spent buying the special edition Mudman. And then the Gravity Master, I would just get the regular Gravity Master too. Save money there. That's my opinion. That's just my opinion. And I have not got any of these in my hand. And here is the embedded link for Instagram. And all right. Well, bing, bang, boom. There you go. So there's pros and cons. All right. Now, when you go to Termit's comment in my video, he says that if that bezel was full metal, watch would be too top heavy and you would feel it at your wrist, especially if you're wearing it a bit loose. And that's true. Okay. So I cannot say for sure, which one is definitely better between a resin bezel Mudman or a metal bezel Mudman until I try the metal bezel Mudman, because I love this bioresin. I mean, I don't love bioresin. I think bioresin's stupid, but I love this Mudman. I put up with the fact that it's a little bit warped on the bezel. 3/100ths of an inch. Can you believe that? I just deal with it, and it has this patina that I think is from being brutalized by the Texas sun after being dunked in diesel. This watch has taken several dunks in diesel and used motor oil and hydraulic oil and, like I said, breakfast burrito grease. That happens a lot, breakfast burrito grease. So, pros and cons. Well, obviously, the resin bezel will make the watch lighter, so you'll feel it less. It won't flop around as much on your wrist. But then, in terms of durability, you're going to be taking a lot of shots onto the bezel. The bezel could warp. It has on my watch. And the warpage, if it exceeds 3/100ths of an inch, it could compromise the ability of the bezel to protect the screen. Okay? But the metal bezel, I'm just sitting here guessing. And again, I own a lot of metal products. I'm not against metal. I have the metal Readiness pen. I have a metal Yeti. I have a metal Leatherman Arc with a Magna Cut steel. And I checked, yes, Magna Cut steel is metal. Okay? And so don't take this as a knock against metal. But, it's heavy, right? It's a little bit heavier than plastic. And what else? Well, it scratches stuff up, right? These screws on the Mudman scratched the mineral glass on the Rangeman when I smashed them together to see which one's tougher. The Mudman's tougher, by the way. And so, you have a metal bezel on your watch, and so you walk past Shane's pickup, and you're just swinging your arms, and whoop, you accidentally scratch the side of his pickup. Be like, oh, man, he's going to notice. He would notice that. That could happen if you have a watch with a metal bezel, right? So, pros and cons. We're going to have to try it out. I mean, we're just going to have to. There's only one way to find out, and that is to test the watch, right? And so that's something that we talked about on Real Ideal Gear when I was a guest on Tim Johnson's live stream, right? Did you guys see that? That was yesterday. That was Sunday, July 28th. So I'll leave a link for you guys to watch the recording of that live stream. We got a lot of great comments. Of course, Paul Whaley checked in. He had a lot of good comments. And unfortunately, Turd Ferguson followed me there. He is an absolute menace in the comments. And it was kind of like a clash of worlds to see Turd Ferguson and Paul Whaley interacting with each other. They were talking about what would happen, if you smashed a G-Shock with a metal Readiness pen. But Deech was checked in. Good to see him, as well as Rich's product reviews. You just cannot forget his thumbnail. It's a Ryobi and a Milwaukee. You know? And then Neil checked in, the humble horologist. And then when you look at, those are the live comments. When you look at like the regular comments, John Vandersant had a big long comment, really good information. We're talking about gaskets and about how, diesel and gaskets, because I got an email from LACO that they test their watches in diesel. So I'm not far off from what I am doing. So really good comments. It's a really good show. Check it out. And of course, the main topic of discussion was about how, a true review has to be done. You can't be like a tabletop review. A true review, you have to bring the watch out there. You have to wear it and see what it is made out of. See if the functions work as advertised. See if it's as durable as advertised. That's the only way you can know for sure, is a real life review. And I think that Tim does that well. And that's what I try to do on my channel. Obviously, tabletop reviews have their place. I enjoy them. And this what I'm doing right now is like not even a review. It's a preview, because we don't have the metal bezel Mudman. We're just talking about it. And, I've made a bunch of videos like that where we're just talking about watch that might come out. And it's not a review, it's a preview. But so obviously, I'm not trying to hide anything. I don't have the metal bezel Mudman. I don't think anybody does yet. And so anyways, I was talking about how I'm not on Instagram. I think Instagram is a scam. So is Facebook. I did reactivate my Twitter account. A long time ago I had Twitter. I was into that whole fave star scene. And then, 4 years ago, I started talking about religion and politics. And the whole, Twitter was like a toxic place. I was like, this is no good. I left. I'm back. And the focus is just pretty much, the everyday carry and watches. Okay. So, but I don't know how much I'm going to be posting there, because Tim Johnson told me about Watch Crunch, okay, which is like Twitter just for watches. And so I started an account there. I have not added any information, but it looks like a better place than Twitter. Twitter got really nasty. I don't know how many of you guys are on Twitter or have been on Twitter, but I deleted my account because it was like you got swarmed by bots. I like good conversations, good back and forth, and both parties respecting each other, and just having fun pretty much online. But Twitter was not like that before, and I just wanted to see if maybe it's back to being fun. I'm not sure it is. I think I'm just gonna stick with Watch Crunch. We shall see. All right, but do check out that live stream with Tim Johnson on Real Ideal Gear, and hopefully in the future, we'll do some live streams where we'll discuss certain items. It'll be like a tag team review or discussion. Speaking of special editions, I entered into this contest for the GW6900 NASA, the NASA watch. At the time, the G-Shock was saying that it was a contest. Like, the only way you had to buy the watch, you had to win. The prize of winning the contest was that you got to buy this watch. Well, I won. I entered and I won, so I bought it. And then afterwards, now it's not a contest anymore. You can just buy it. Did I get scammed? Anyways, that is on the way. It is in Texas. I can track it. It is in Texas. But it's not at my house yet. So, Lord willing, we'll have an unboxing tomorrow where we'll look at the GW6900 NASA. And we'll see, we'll try and put it through some tough tests that you would want for a space exploration watch. For example, will it survive through the Van Nuys radiation belt? We got a microwave. Maybe we'll use that to test it. Anyways, that is the watch. We'll be talking about that when we get it, okay? And so let's look at some of these other comments on my video where I talked about the advantage of a metal Mudman. And one of the top comments is from Richard Sensky, who says that he ordered his GW 9500 TLC because of me. Whoa. From eBay, Japan, $385. All right. Well, Mr. Sensky did not pay a super premium for that GW 9500 TLC. All right. So that's good. And I hope that he enjoys that watch because, again, it is my favorite, right? And he says that he has a 1976 Toyota Land Cruiser with a 350 Chevy NV 4500 transmission and Dynatrack axles. All right. So is this for mudding or is this for rock climbing? Right. I need some of you guys that know your off-road vehicles to tell me, because I do drive off-road a lot, but I drive off-road in Class 8 vehicles, tractor trailers, driving around the oil field. So I lock that differential and, keep it in a low gear and power through that mud in rough terrain. So that sounds like a really cool Land Cruiser with a Chevy swap. I have a buddy of mine who does the LS swap on some of those older vintage cars. User, I don't know this guy's name. Let me see. May Dunno. He says, hold on. He says that he is a Mudman. Exact same bumps after a month or two. It's still tough as nails and never leaves my wrist except when I'm in the bathroom. All right. So he gets really rowdy in the bathroom. Doesn't want to break the ceramic tiles, I guess. Yes. So he has the same bezel problem with the warpage. All right. And we have 17 centimeter Miller Mine Warfer 81 says, I got one of those Toyota Mudman. It's a superb watch. And this gentleman is I believe he is a Toyota fan. He corrected my pronunciation of the Toyota Helix. And I still don't know if I'm spelling it correctly. He's probably going to get on my case again. And by the way, how do we even say his name? It's German, right? We're going to have to highlight his name right here. Highlight his name. All right. Open Apple C. All right. Now, you look at my video. Well, there was an ad for 11 Labs, okay, that has this text to speech, right? So we're going to settle once and for all how he says his name, all right? And find German. There we go. And the voice. Did they have like a... I'm going to pick George. I'm going to assume that George can speak German. All right. Let's try it. You guys ready? All right. It's working.
17 cm mittlerer Minenwerfer 81.
Did any of you guys get that? Let me try again.
17 cm mittlerer Minenwerfer 81.
17 Figima, meiner Hafen 81.
17 cm mittlerer Minenwerfer 81.
17 Wiener Waffen. 17 Wiener Waffen.
17 cm mittlerer Minenwerfer 81. 17
17 Wiener Waffen.
Minenwerfer 81. 17 cm mittlerer Minen.
17 Wiener Waffen. All right, I can't say it. Let me just try some other words that I know. Let's see what.
17 cm mittlerer Minenwerfer 81. Nein.
Nein. That's all I know in
17
German.
cm mittlerer Minenwerfer 81. Nein.
Nein. You got to yell it. So yell. Like this, he's yelling no, because I'm like pronouncing it wrong. All right, let's try it again.
17 cm mittlerer Minenwerfer 81.
17 Minenwerfer.
Nein.
Okay, I made him mad. I did not pronounce 17 centimeters name correctly. All right. Well, anyways, that's a pretty cool tool, right? 11labs.io. And I found out about them because on this browser, I'm not checked into my account, and there was an ad for that in front of my own video, Advantage of the Metal Mudman. And so I pay for YouTube Premium. I'm missing out on all these fantastic commercials. And I think that YouTube Premium's worth it. Well, there you go. Bing, bang, boom. All right, gentlemen, Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. No man comes to the Father except through him. I'm Jim Kinkade. Thanks for watching.